Dwayne "Dog" Chapman was not always the instantly recognizable bounty hunter the world came to know through television. He was born in Denver, Colorado, and raised in a strict household by a father who had served in the Navy and later worked as a bail bondsman. Rules in the Chapman home were often enforced with a heavy hand, leaving Dog and his siblings to endure the brunt of their father's temper. His mother, a Sunday school teacher, did her best to instill faith and morality in her children, hoping that her lessons would guide Dwayne toward a life of good deeds and strong values. Yet, the turbulence in his home shaped him into a teenager who eventually sought escape in a far more dangerous world. At 16, Dwayne decided he had to leave home. He was no longer willing to endure the physical discipline and the strict environment, so he joined a motorcycle gang known as the Devil's Disciples. Surrounded by hardened bikers, alcohol, and brushes with crime, his life took a sharp turn away from the religious upbringing his mother had tried so diligently to maintain. During this period, he gained the nickname Dog. According to some stories, one of the bikers noted that Dog is God spelled backward, a badge of honor for this rebellious teen who prided himself on challenging the norms. Little did he know that this name would stick with him forever. In the early 1970s, Dog crossed paths with a woman named LaFonda Sue Darnell. They met in Denver, and Dog quickly found in her a sense of stability that he hadn't felt in a long time. Their connection grew strong, and in 1972, they married, hoping to settle down. They relocated multiple times before establishing themselves in Pampa, Texas, where LaFonda was originally from. Together, they had two sons, Dwayne Lee Chapman II and Leland Chapman. In the beginning, it seemed like Dog might have found a measure of normalcy, but old habits die hard, and his penchant for risky behavior reemerged. Dog's involvement in petty crimes and associations with rough crowds placed him on a collision course with fate in 1976. While he waited in a car during a drug deal, a friend shot and killed the dealer, Oliver, inside the building. Under Texas law, Dog's mere presence and his failure to report the crime was enough to implicate him in the murder. Though he did not pull the trigger, the court showed no leniency. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. This was a sobering moment for him, the sharp turning point that would redefine his life. Prison became Dog's crucible. During his 18-month stint, he worked as a barber for the guards. Despite living amid constant tension and potential violence, Dog tried to keep a low profile. One day, he intervened to save an inmate who was attempting to escape and was about to be shot by prison guards. Dog's bravery earned him unexpected respect, and a guard took notice, suggesting that Dog's streetwise edge and determination could be put to use as a bounty hunter once he was free. Dog would later recall how this single comment planted a seed in his mind, offering a potential pathway out of his self-destructive life. After his release, Dog found himself at rock bottom. He was plagued by a mountain of child support debt, stemming from his responsibilities to his young family. Desperate for a way to earn quick money, and perhaps to find redemption, Dog decided to follow the guard's advice. He spoke with the judge who had originally presided over his case, who surprisingly encouraged him to pursue bounty hunting. The judge believed Dog had the right blend of grit, resilience, and persuasive power needed to chase down fugitives. And thus began one of the most remarkable transformations in popular culture, an ex-con turned bounty hunter. However, Dog's new profession put even more strain on his marriage to LaFonda. She struggled with the instability and the constant fear that Dog's past, or his new line of work, might drag their family down. In 1977, she filed for divorce, taking their 2 sons with her. It was a bitter end to what had once been a hopeful union. The pain of losing his family only fueled Dog's determination to succeed in his newly chosen path. Not long after, he met a woman named Anne at a biker party in Colorado. She was just 17, and fearing legal repercussions if he continued the relationship without making it official, he married her the very next day. Their marriage was built on shaky ground, and yet they had 3 children together. Tragically, the first child, Zebediah, died shortly after birth, a heartbreaking blow that only deepened the tension between them. They went on to have 2 more sons, Wesley and James, but the strain proved too much. In 1982, they divorced, leaving Dog with yet another fractured family. During the early 1980s, Dog lost custody of most of his children. Hungry to reconnect with his older sons, he returned to Colorado, where, by chance, he met Lisa Ray Britton in a bar. In a famously brash moment, he announced his wish to have a child with her and even offered to pay. Surprisingly, Lisa left her then husband and married Dog. They had additional children, but their union was marked by differences that were impossible to reconcile. Dog had an appetite for the glamour of Hollywood and a burning ambition to make a name for himself, while Lisa yearned for a quieter existence. By 1991, their marriage too had ended in divorce. By this point, Dog had established a solid reputation as a bounty hunter, earning a living by chasing down fugitives and turning them over to the authorities. He demonstrated a unique ability, the willingness to relate to people on the run, often offering them a chance to clean up their act. Those who worked with him claimed he had an almost uncanny knack for sniffing out a lead, never letting go until he cornered his target. His personal life, however, was perpetually in disarray. Infidelity, money troubles, and the scars of his own criminal past followed him wherever he went. Another whirlwind marriage began when he crossed paths with Tani. Their initial encounter occurred in 1988 under dramatic circumstances. Dog arrested Tani for substance possession. Years later, he hired her as his secretary, and the two fell into a complicated romance. Tani wanted a stable commitment, but Dog was wary of tying himself down after multiple failed marriages. Their relationship saw frequent relapses into substance abuse and ended up overshadowed by Dog's affair with Beth Smith. Beth Smith, the woman most closely associated with Dog in the public eye, entered his life around the same time. In 1988, she found herself in jail for allegedly stealing a couple of lemons and carrying an unlicensed firearm alongside a stack of unpaid traffic tickets. She called Dog for bail, and he made her wait, sending the paperwork via bus. When Beth finally arrived at Dog's office, the chemistry between them was undeniable. She admitted she was instantly drawn to him. Still, it would be years before they truly got together. Beth became a bail bondswoman in her own right, forging a path in a male-dominated industry. By 1997, Dog and Beth had moved in together with some of Dog's children. Their bond, both professional and personal, grew stronger. They founded Dakine Bail Bonds and operated it out of Hawaii, giving them a slice of island life far removed from Dog's scrappy Denver roots. Their big break arrived in 2003 when Dog pursued Andrew Luster, the heir to the Max Factor fortune. Luster, wanted in the United States for drugging and assaulting multiple women, had fled to Mexico to avoid trial. Bounty hunting is not legal in Mexico, so capturing Luster there placed Dog in hot water. He was arrested at the border after nabbing Luster, and the ordeal earned worldwide attention. Though the legality of his methods was questioned, the spectacular success of catching such a high-profile fugitive was impossible to ignore. Television executives at A&E saw the story's potential. In 2004, Dog the Bounty Hunter debuted, forever cementing Dog and Beth in pop culture history. Viewers tuned in week after week, captivated by Dog's hulking presence, long blonde mullet, leather wardrobe, and tinted sunglasses. Meanwhile, Beth's bold personality and formidable chase tactics, often done in stiletto heels, made her just as iconic. Together, they formed a power couple like no other. On screen, they balanced high-stakes hunts with moments of compassion, regularly counseling fugitives and urging them to turn over a new leaf. The show's signature prayer circles before each mission underscored the role of faith in their approach. Dog's brash style was both a blessing and a curse. It drew in fans, but it also led to controversies. In 2007, the biggest scandal of his career erupted when a private phone call between Dog and his son was leaked. On it, Dog used a racial slur, referencing fears that such a word would jeopardize his reality TV career if it ever became public. The resulting firestorm was immediate. Advertisers backed away, Andy placed the show on hiatus, and Dog scrambled to salvage his reputation. He issued multiple apologies, explaining that the language he used was unacceptable and hurtful. Though the show did resume, many viewers questioned whether his remorse was genuine. Meanwhile, Beth stood by him, and their relationship remained central to the show's success. After their time on A&E, they launched a new program on CMT called Dog and Beth, On the Hunt. Though it never fully eclipsed the popularity of the original show, it allowed them to continue their mission of chasing criminals and helping struggling bail bond agents across the country. Tragically, Beth's health took a dire turn in 2017 when she was diagnosed with throat cancer. She underwent surgery to remove a tumor, and for a short while, it looked like she had beaten the disease. By November of that year, doctors announced she was cancer-free, but the Chapman celebration was short-lived. In 2018, further tests revealed that cancer had returned and spread to her lungs. Beth refused to let it break her spirit. She spoke openly about her battle, encouraging others to keep faith in hard times. Despite all her resolve, her condition worsened, and on June 26, 2019, she passed away, leaving Dog and their extended family shattered. Dog took Beth's death extremely hard, admitting on an episode of Dr. Oz that he considered taking his own life in the depths of his despair. Along with grief, he faced severe financial strain. Beth's medical bills and the ongoing costs of supporting their large family had drained his resources. He also discovered that his chest pains and breathing troubles were not solely emotional. Doctors found a pulmonary embolism, a dangerous blood clot in his lungs, a condition that could quickly become fatal if left untreated. Dog's decades of heavy smoking, dating back to when he was just 12, had taken a serious toll on his health. Despite these setbacks, he returned to television in Dog's Most Wanted on WGN. This series saw him hunting some of America's most notorious criminals with the same tenacity he had always shown. One of the standout captures was that of Leonard Trudeau Jr., a fugitive with a long rap sheet of armed robberies and assaults. The pursuit took 12 tense days across southern Colorado, culminating in a dramatic arrest that left Trudeau bruised and livid, hurling insults as Dog and his team dragged him away. Filming so soon after Beth's death made it an emotional task for everyone involved. Only 7 months after losing Beth, the tabloids buzzed with rumors of a new romance between Dog and a family friend, Moon Angel. His daughter Lissa publicly lashed out on social media, accusing Moon Angel of betrayal and calling Dog fake. In one of the strangest moments of Dog's public life, he proposed to Angel on Dr. Oz in an emotional scene, only to later insist it was not a serious proposal, but rather a test to see people's reactions. Regardless, the backlash was swift, and that relationship fizzled out. Eventually, Dog found companionship with Francie Frayne, a widow who had lost her husband to cancer around the same time Beth had passed. The two connected over their shared grief, and by March 2020, they confirmed they were dating. In May of that year, Dog proposed, prompting mixed reactions from fans. Some were glad to see him finding happiness again. Others accused him of moving on too quickly. Nevertheless, on September 2nd, 2021, Dog and Francie tied the knot in Colorado, celebrating a new chapter in life after a season of profound loss. Challenges still dogged Dog. In 2021, he faced a lawsuit from Michael Donovan, the president of the streaming service Unleashed. Donovan claimed Dog made racist and homophobic remarks on the set of a new show, Dog Unleashed, which was eventually canceled. The lawsuit went further, alleging Dog illegally used a taser during filming, an act that could be considered a crime given his felony record. Dog's legal team denied the allegations, calling them retaliatory and baseless. They also claimed the taser was merely a prop, though Donovan's camp disputed those assertions. Mounting financial pressures added to the turmoil. By 2022, Dog owed about $1.6 million in back taxes across Colorado and Hawaii. In a move that was both painful and necessary, he sold the Colorado home he and Beth had purchased 13 years earlier for roughly $750,000. Thanks to the hot real estate market, he nearly doubled his money, netting around $1.59 million. The sale provided some financial breathing room, but also closed an important chapter on the life he had built with Beth. In recent years, Dog has turned more toward faith-based endeavors. He wrote a book titled 9 Lives and Counting, detailing his journey through a lifetime of near-death experiences, prison, heartbreak, and eventual redemption. He has also appeared at events with televangelists, positioning himself as a Christian influencer who aims to spread hope and guidance. Yet, the hard-edged personality that catapulted him to fame hasn't vanished entirely. In one of his latest controversies, he made pointed remarks about transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, misgendering her and delivering a rant that many found threatening and hateful. Once more, Dog stood firm, claiming he was simply expressing his beliefs. He describes himself now as a Christian outlaw, torn between the desire to protect moral values and the lingering intensity that once made him a legendary bounty hunter. So, what truly happened to Dog the Bounty Hunter? In some ways, the story is still unfolding. He went from a troubled youth in Denver, trapped in cycles of violence and rebellion, to a prison inmate, then to a bounty hunter who crossed moral and legal lines in pursuit of criminals. Fame thrust him into the spotlight as millions watched him track down fugitives on television. Despite his success, controversy remained a constant shadow, from the infamous leaked phone call to lawsuits alleging racism and homophobia. The greatest blow of all came with Beth's passing, leaving him untethered in grief, battling serious health issues, and staggering under financial burdens. Yet, he emerged from the darkness, determined to reclaim his life, forging a new path with Francie Frayne while proclaiming a heightened devotion to God. He is now a figure marked by contradictions, a man who preaches about redemption but still uses the gritty language of the street, a man who once found purpose capturing criminals, but now says he aims to save souls. His story is a testament to both the resilience and the controversy that have accompanied him from one decade to the next. Love him or loathe him, Dwayne "Dog" Chapman has carved out a unique place in popular culture, one that might never be replicated. What's also worth noting is the broader influence he has had on popular media. His run on television helped redefine the way audiences perceive bounty hunting, no longer the exclusive domain of the silent, stoic loner, but a family affair complete with high-octane chases, moral admonitions, and prayers. Whether viewers were drawn in by the spectacle, the family dynamic, or the promise of redemption, Dog's show expanded the reality TV landscape. The success of Dog the Bounty Hunter paved the way for other reality programs that focus on law enforcement and crime fighting, proving that raw authenticity and a strong personal angle could hook audiences over multiple seasons. Moreover, the Chapman's approach of combining tough love and empathy has sparked endless discussion about the nature of justice. Dog often stressed that criminals have a chance to change if they surrender and face their wrongdoings. This message resonated with some viewers who believed in second chances, but also provoked critics who felt it romanticized vigilantism. Yet, it's precisely this complexity, the coexistence of stern authority and genuine compassion, that made the show stand out from the usual cop dramas. Another fascinating angle is Dog's ability to remain relevant even after his primary show ended. From additional spin-offs and interviews to public controversies, he has kept himself in the headlines for better or worse. His outspoken nature and willingness to speak openly about religion, politics, and social issues have meant that he seldom fades quietly into the background. Even in moments where he faces serious backlash, be it from allegations of racism, homophobia, or unprofessional conduct, he finds ways to address, spin, or counter the narrative. Some see this as a sign of resilience, while others see it as a refusal to reflect and change. Fans who have stuck by him through the highs and lows often point to his unwavering commitment to family, even though that commitment might look messy from an outsider's perspective. From reconciling with estranged children to marrying and remarrying, Dog's personal life is out in the open, a reality show in itself. When Beth died, viewers saw him crumble on camera, providing a rare glimpse of real vulnerability in a man who had long cultivated an image of unbreakable toughness. This moment of raw humanity expanded the conversation around mental health and grief, particularly in the context of a public figure known for capturing others at their lowest points. Today, as Dog embraces his role as a Christian influencer, a new audience is exposed to his story, an audience that might have missed his years on television but now follows him for spiritual messages. Whether this journey is genuine transformation or a strategic pivot is a matter of debate. However, one cannot deny that it has extended his public platform, placing him alongside prominent religious figures and allowing him to connect with different communities. The line between showmanship and authentic faith remains fuzzy, but it's clear Dog relishes being center stage, even if it means sparking controversy over his newly voiced convictions. Furthermore, there is speculation on whether he will return to mainstream television in a significant capacity. Rumors occasionally swirl about new shows, potential guest appearances, or other collaborations. Given his track record, it wouldn't be surprising if he tried to resurrect a format similar to Dog the Bounty Hunter, perhaps rebranded to incorporate more of his spiritual beliefs. His ties to the bail bonds industry may have weakened, but the skill set and persona that made him famous could still attract an audience. In an era where streaming platforms are hungry for original content, it's possible that Dog could find a new home for his dramatic, larger-than-life escapades. In the end, Dog's life and career illustrate the power of reinvention. He has repeatedly gone from rock bottom to the pinnacle of public fascination, only to stumble again, and then pick himself up once more. The cycle of controversy, apology, and comeback has become almost predictable, a pattern many reality stars encounter, but few navigate as boldly as Dog. Each chapter of his life has been marked by both triumph and turmoil, reminding us that a celebrity story is never as straightforward as it appears on camera. And there you have it, the rise, the fall, and the complex ongoing story of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Whether you see him as a champion for second chances or a man haunted by his own personal demons, there's no denying the sheer intensity and drama that surrounds his life. If you found this deep dive intriguing, don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Dog's shift toward faith is sincere, or do you see him returning to the spotlight for another round of controversies? Let us know, and as always, subscribe for more in-depth looks at the stories behind some of the world's most captivating figures. Stay tuned, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.